Wah 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 wah. We're good.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm going to
I'm
pleasure
sorry?
myself with this fish.
I mean,
take it away, Trip.
you
Oh
do
man, my
you,
mic
big
didn't
guy.
pick up the disgusting noises I made. Damn it.
Are we still recording? We're still recording.
Hiya.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So for this, Gruffles, do you have anything that says you go first?
Actually, kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I engage in because I have threatening, whenever I engage in intrigue, I must use intimidate first.
Okay. That just means that when you like we still have to do initiative. It doesn't say that you directly go first, but intimidate has to be your first move.
Okay.
So, what we must do then is we have to figure out dispositions. This
Who is
person
he talking
specifically
to?
is a peasant,
Okay.
a small folk.
Yes.
Like actually pressing them for information.
Aha.
Yeah.
So, this particular person is indifferent towards you. And what would you say your disposition is towards them? Probably indifferent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So indifferent should be straight across the board. Yep. So there's no deception modifiers, no persuasion modifiers based off of that. Blah, 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 blah. You're pressing for informations.
Yes.
Wherefore is. Are you attractive?
Not particularly.
Okay. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. All right. Cool. So initiative. What we're doing here is come on. How to do the thing. Do the thing. Yes, I know what the skills are. I love how here's how to do initiative, but it doesn't actually say how to do initiative. Do you have an initiative button?
Intrigue and combat. Yeah, I do have an initiative button.
I'm gonna need all this.
All right, cool. So go ahead and do that. You will more than likely win this initiative.
Wanted to lay on it.
Though I don't really know what it's based on. It just says like.
I think it's your
26.
canning.
Oh, it uses my.
No, I thought that's what it was, but I read it wrong. Let me roll mine just to see what happens.
Okay.
I think it is your. Ooh.
Oh.
Got something 4 dice. Ah, might be status. Oh yeah, it's probably status.
All right. Can someone check me 2d6?
I will. 9. I think you need
Alright, cool.
reputation. I think it's reputation because it's also rolling off my It's I think it's just stats and reputation.
Like, I just needed 2d6, my guy.
We got a 9. You got a 9.
Okay. Cool beans. Scruffles, what'd you get?
A 2.
Fuck, so
Because
they
I
go
rolled
first.
1d6.
What do you know about the bandits?
I have less reputation than the average peasant.
Perfect.
So ultimately, they just want to. They don't really want anything from you, to be honest. They just want to go back to work.
Be choppy for anyone else.
So
Oh yeah.
they're going to try to charm, or no, they're just going to ask what they can do because they're confused. So they will actually hold. So that being said, you go first with your
Alright.
intimidate.
Since I am a very threatening person, just
And I'm gonna say this is probably a farmer.
okay. I basically start the conversation off with bringing up the subject of the bandits and like their grave threateningness. And in a way, I'm kind of like, what's it called? Because one, I kind of have to start off with intimidate, but I'm basically using it as a way to catch their attention, as well as like keep them into this conversation, and like this is an important thing that you need to be telling me about.
Well, your thingy says you have to start off with an intimidate.
Yeah. So yeah, I roll
So
intimidate.
you're basically like, tell me what I want to know,
Or I'll kill you.
or I'm gonna start with them toes.
Yes. Toes.
Spooky man comes up to ask you questions. This would be a flat roll.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Damn, motherfucker.
What'd you get?
That's 3 1s and a 6. You got an 8.
I think that still does thing.
I think like an 8's a base pass.
mostly depends
Well,
on-
I have to find them.
Yeah, they're peasant stats.
Which
Just
is
gonna look to you, just out of my way, peasant
3.
coming through.
Gets out intimidated by a
my
peasant.
way, peasant coming through. Small folk stats. Okay. You got an 8, you say?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. He's gonna take a point of composure. Sticky note. Alright, so how are you phrasing this specifically?
Alrighty. I'm basically like phrasing this as like kind of like mostly that
Like, how are you... Like, how is the guileless saying this to this man? Like, what is he saying?
that he needs to ask him questions about the bandits rather immediately, or it is most likely that within the week something rather terrible could happen to this entire village. fear mongering, you know.
Okay. Cool. So he takes his composure. He's going to. He's going to try to bargain. Um,
Another 2d6.
yes, please.
Rolling. He got an 8.
Cool. So he's bargaining. He's just. I don't know anything about these bandits. I don't know anything about these bandits. But I assure you, you don't have to take it out on me or my family. Like, I don't know anything. I just know that they come and they attack.
And what I'm going to do is what my guy's great at, and that's bluff.
Okay.
And
What is your intrigue defense, by the by?
it is 10.
10. So he does not make it. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, you said you're going to what?
I'm going to use a bluff. And what I'm bluffing is that it's not me that you have to worry about. It's the bandits. And they're coming here soon.
Is that actually a bluff?
Information regarding them is going to be used to keep you from dying.
So, alright. Run that back real quick. So the bandits are coming, and if you tell me what I need to know,
I could help
then...
them away.
Okay.
Because I'm someone that you... Well, I'm someone that's important, but you don't need to know that.
I'm somebody you can trust?
Yeah.
Okay. Do it to it.
Oh yeah, also this gets a +6, by the way.
Sweet mother of God, okay.
How does that get a +6?
It's from being treacherous.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's for being untrustworthy, actually.
A
I'm somebody you can trust.
Yep, a benefit that I have. Whenever you use deception and an intrigue, you may add your cunning to your deception test result.
Amazing.
And so, at a 19 plus 6, that would be 25.
Okay. Okay, so this dude has an intrigue defense of 5. You said you had 25?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the most degree of success I think he can get.
Yeah. So you have all 4 degrees of success. I'm actually going to have him withdraw at that point, but he will spill the beans. So actually, yeah. So he's going to withdraw, but he's going to spill the beans. What he knows is that there is or he's heard, not that he knows, he has heard that there is a group of essentially like Robin Hood-esque people that have been running around the forest, stealing from the rich to feed the hungry. But they call themselves the faces of the forest. They think that or they think they've heard something about there being a noble involved, but they aren't 100% sure. They might just be bandits. There's there's been rumors of people seen in some of them wearing all black clothes with black cloaks and all. Some have bits and pieces, but not the whole getup.
Yeah.
And that there's wildlings with them, but you can gather from what he's saying, he's only seen about a fraction of what he's telling you.
Yeah.
He personally has only seen a fraction of it. And he's lost a healthy chunk of crops to them. They've never burnt anything down. They've just taken and ran.
That's good to note. Does he know, considering that they're Robin Hood-like folk, does he know who exactly that they have good relations with, or who they're giving stuff to?
No.
Alright.
It's definitely a name that he doesn't have to think about it, right? He doesn't have to think about their name. So he has definitely heard the name before. But you kind of feel as though there have been conversations between him and some of them, but nothing he hasn't ever actually done anything to betray anybody. This guy has. But no, basically it sounds like it's just dudes in the forest trying to take care of other dudes in the forest.
Alrighty. That could be an interesting thing. Do they sound like a big group or a small group?
They're actually unsure on what size of group they are, to be completely honest.
Okay.
They when they do hit, it's not a set amount of people. It's not we have 50 people, we're gonna hit with all 50 people.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. Sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's more he's not sure, but they'll take food, and they'll take pitchforks and knives and stuff like that. As far as tools go, nothing of their own farming equipment, but more so things that could be used for self-defense, but is also a tool.
Alrighty. And the final kind of question is, have there been any activities of groups that are definitely not these guys in the area? Or at least heard of bandit activity that does not follow this their, what's it called?
Pattern of behavior?
Yeah, pattern of behavior. Raids wildly different actions.
There have been other bandits that have actually set fire to crops, but he's not sure if they're connected or not.
Alrighty.
From what he's saying, when, as far as he can remember, when he was a kid, crops would burn due to bandits, and this guy's probably in his middle ages. But crops would be burnt. Other times they would just be raided, just grab and goes. But it's probably been like 20, 30 years since a fire was set to a crop. So he's not sure if it's the same people, if it's different people, or what's up about any of it.
That is good to know. Considering that in this area, it seems to mostly be the, modus operations of guys they probably operate in this specific area.
Another tidbit that he'll give you is when they're raiding and stuff, they try to recruit from the populace to have people join them, but most of the people here are pretty happy with life the way it is, to be honest. Like, you guys actually run a pretty okay place. Like, people are happy to be here. So I'm not going to say that like everybody has turned them down, but more often than not, the people are turning them down rather than joining up.
Okay, so they probably are from a horror area and not here. Oh, actually,
Potentially.
Or a place who has a worse lord.
and also probably a really good question to ask if he could point me in the direction of anyone that has been approached by these bandits for recruitment and then turned them down.
To that request, he would actually he would still try to protect what bit he could, and he's like, honestly, like, I don't know of anybody that knows, but if anybody finds out that I've said this much, like, there are bad things that can and will happen to my family. The bandits will be the least of my concerns.
The town would probably, yeet him for fear of, like, the king getting all pissed off and burning down the place.
Snitches get stitches.
He's more worried about, snitches get stitches, man. Like, you people are a hardy folk. You tend to keep your emotions to yourself and everything like that. So, like, he has already divulged a lot of potentially problematic information for the community. So he just doesn't want to get lynched.
Yeah. Okay, this would be a good point to stop bothering this guy. But now that I know that they attempt to recruit from the populace, I could potentially use this as an opportunity to infiltrate, or at least pretend to be a guy looking to join in on the thing. Though I'm considering this place seems to have a not highest regard for these bandits. That may be the best place to like go. Like, yeah, I'm looking to join the bandits.
What was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Shit, dude, that's rough.
Yeah, dude. I'm like 3 different places at one time mentally. So as far as like the bandits go, like, you do know that anybody who has actively stood against them, there has been direct combat with, but not to say that they are leaving the people alone. That does at least give the impression that there is some kind of honor amongst them to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, they're not specifically killing for the sake of killing, but they will slaughter anybody that stands against them while they're doing their thing. As far as a direction to go, they don't have anything to really give you. They just know it's somewhere south in the forest. And to be honest, the only people that really would know are already there. Like it's kind of like a you decide now if you're one of us or one of them. It's not a let me think about it. I'll get back to you in like a week. If that helps.
Righty. I could potentially check around some of the other areas by the south of the forest and see if there are some worse off ones that could have a bit more direct connections and then actually like physically infiltrate the place.
Okay.
I should probably report this back to Milord first.
Okay.
Oh, status report. My cloaked companion.
Well, it seems one of the bandit groups called the Faces of the Forest is, well, one of the people that seem to be a plague upon the land. They see themselves as a sort of good and jolly group, taking wealth from, well, the wealthy and giving it to the more unfortunate.
That's terrible. My taxes.
Yes.
He channeled full knob right there. That's terrible. My taxes.
There's
Christ.
some rumor of them possibly having a noble amongst them. This is unconfirmed. They have been seen to wear mostly black and could have connections with wildlings.
Knob, when he says that part, you immediately know what he's talking about. He is talking about those on the wall.
This could be
Who's on the wall?
So you would know that, like, where the wall is, you have what's known as a form of punishment of taking the black. So there, you basically, like, you go to what's known as the wall to defend against wildlings. But in doing so, you are stripped of all your land, titles, anything that, like, you had is gone. Your marriage is null and void. Your
Hardcore about that.
your lands are stripped. Your titles stripped. Like, you lose everything taking the black. And Crow's Black is the group that is up there. That's what they call themselves. They wear all black clothing, black leather armor, black cloaks. The whole deal is they look like crows.
Wait, are we dealing
Oh,
with
okay.
Are we
Well, it
dealing
sounds
with...
like some gone bandit. If my brain is reading this correctly.
Wait, this is the Night Watch?
It sounds like they are somehow connected to them.
Possibly deserters. Actually, probably deserters.
Oh no, them.
Alrighty, so we have Naito Wachos and Ben. So what do you suppose we do?
It
Do
also
we
seems
still
that
attempt to pretend to be merchants and get caught?
it also seems that they've been trying to recruit from local populaces. They have not been the most popular, but it seems like anyone who has decided to go along with them has already done so.
Alrighty, so what's left are the good and loyal town folk.
Yes, no need to take any anger upon them.
The ones who are based and knowing their station in life, pilled.
You're very robotic there, Trap.
Let's see.
Okay.
And what do you suggest we do, Cloaked One?
We could go along with your fake easy target, or we could also have me or potentially someone else attempt to join them, since they seem to be open to recruits.
Which do you think will work best? This is your realm of expertise, after all.
How many of them do you think you can fight off? With,
How many of them are there?
Probably a lot. They seem
I
to.
can fight off a lot.
Okay. They don't always seem to attack in full force. Attacks can vary in number wildly. But if they are of Night's Watch, they are probably well trained. But
All right.
they are deserters, so
Here's the plan. Then. We are going to get a big cart, and one that they'd use to move a bunch of stuff, and we'll have it covered. In the back will be the bear, and you and I will ride the cart. And when they come, we unleash the bear on them.
see.
This sounds incredibly half-baked. I love it.
I do too.
Right? That's where I'm at as the GM. I was like, there's nothing that can go wrong here. I'm totally on board with this.
Your personal hedge knight, the big one with the axes, possibly.
Where is he?
Where is
Conveniently in the room with you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh. Am I? I thought I was with the other party.
Oh, are you with us?
He's
yeah,
with
I thought
us.
I was with you guys.
Oh, he's with us.
I mean, I can swap real quick. I haven't
Yeah,
been
quick,
able to play
send-
anything in either place, but
Strap a message
He's
to my
been
bear.
standing
Send it on.
luminously somewhere.
Send a messenger
Yeah,
bear to go get him.
gonna grab him, steal?
Meanwhile,
steal
in the party as they're traveling, why didn't we bring Sir Brynjar with us?
Because he's racist.
oh,
2 parties of 3. Actually, 1 party of 4, another of 3.
sounds like everybody needs someone to just clobber things for them.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
quite useful.
Clobbering is a useful skill in this day and age.
I'm in high demand.
Alright, so that being said, do you want the big burly man with you guys, or do you want the big burly man with them guys?
With us.
Okay.
Big
So,
burly man stumbles into the room.
There's a real quick portal that is ripped open in the middle of this forest with like a sucking chest wound sound. As a giant is just yeeted into the existence of his liege lord with just
Slowly.
a quick little.
Excellent.
Meanwhile, Woden takes up paper and quill and quickly makes notes. Ah, magic! Must study immediately.
Excellent. Come with me.
And on the other
Shortcut
side,
into existence.
just a quick.
Come
My
with
lord,
me,
I've
head
seen
knight.
things. Terrible
what the
things.
You'll be fine.
This happens in a mere half second, but to you, Paladin, you have aged 15 years. You have seen wars that haven't even been told about. No, I'm kidding. Like,
Oh,
Does that mean
I
his
was super
fighting
ready
goes
to commit
down?
to this.
Oh.
like
If you
15
want to pull
years,
that shit
bring
on
it.
me, I'll
Who
do
sits on the
I'll do it.
Iron Throne in 10 years?
You don't want to know the answer to
You
that
don't
question
want to know
because
the
it's
answer to
really
that question,
complicated.
boy.
I was-
Also, I don't think I understand it because I don't know any of their names.
I was wondering in
comes
the actual
back
books.
He's got like the alien's hair, and he's just, there is no throne, only Zool.
Friggin' Zool.
Alright, we're gonna get you fitted for a crate.
What do you mean fitted for a crate?
You're gonna pretend to be a box, and when they come for us, the bandits that is, you're gonna burst out and slaughter them.
Why don't I just slaughter them the normal way?
Because we need them to get closer to us and check your box. So they can't run away.
Doesn't
That's
sound
dirty.
like a very fair fight.
It'll be fair because there's gonna be like 200 of them, and just you.
That is a fair fight.
There you go, let's go.
This can only go well.
I love my job.
Our
what I
enemies
live
hide
for.
in metal boxes.
Hate this whole hiding deal, but if I get to hit a lot of people.
If I get to commit mass murder.
Well, the trick is that, of course, he's not trying to kill them. It's just that people are very squishy.
He's not
Oh, he's
trying
Lenny.
to kill them. They
He's
just
Lenny.
die easy.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of "Do you yield?" followed by exploding.
No?
corpses.
Man is chopped in half. Do you yield? Ah, shit. Next.
Hey you! Hey you! I need to fight this guy. Hold my axe. Where is it in his torso?
Hold this, good Sir Knight.
Oh, this
Bam!
crunch.
Okay, so before we go with Operation Bananarama, let's
That
check
is a
in on
fun
Team
name.
B, or Team A in this regards, as they're kind of
Hey,
like...
We are absolutely the A team here.
Du- du-
You
du.
chuckle fucks are the B team.
Hmm.
Don't be so sure.
I might have to run to go check on something in the oven in a bit, but
Okay,
but yeah,
Like-
let's get it started.
I'm sorry.
Let's just get this started.
Okay.
So we're traveling along through the wilderness of the north, Van leading the
We-
way.
We
Yep.
happened upon wildlings already.
We have?
Shouting the N-word as he merrily skips through the forest.
There's a song
Naga,
about
naga,
that. Naga, 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 naga. Why you ain't got no job?
And
Jesus.
now I need to censor something. Thanks, eh?
Oh,
I said naga.
I'm just being cautious because
But-
YouTube is YouTube.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, so
Yeah,
having
so
a
they're
fun
they're
out
skinning a deer,
on the
correct?
hill. Yep. Or they're either skinning or cleaning, not quite so sure,
Right.
based off of your angle.
So Van's gonna draw his shield, but not his sword.
Okay.
Fresh kill.
Is my mic on?
Yo,
yes.
Yeah,
Can't
sorry.
do.
No, you're good.
And he's going to approach cautiously and inquire, is that fresh?
So all four of them instinctively look up, and it's actually the woman that addresses you, and just a bit far south, aren't you, my lord?
Perhaps. Official business.
What's so official about these woods?
That depends on what you know.
We know many things, my lord. Some things we know not so much of, but we know things.
Do you hail from here? Hold on, my dog's being annoying.
You're good.
I'm gonna go check the oven.
Come on, let you out.
And while this is happening, Edric pets his bear.
Pat, pat. Hello, bear.
Pat, hello bear. Or whatever bear noises sound like.
I return.
Okay. So when you ask if,
Do they hail from these woods?
yeah, when you ask if they hail from here, that you see them all kind of grin a little bit, and one of the other gentlemen is just like, here's kind of relative. We hail from the lands, but not specifically this wood.
If you do not call this place home, what brings you here?
Oh, this is home. We just weren't born here.
Did you arrive rather recently?
Recent-ish.
Define recent-ish.
It's been many moons, my lord child.
It must have to be, for you have recognized me.
There aren't many who wandered this far into the wood.
Tell me then. What do you know of bandits?
We know that you southern folk tend to use bandits for those that are deemed inferior, but banditry is a way of life. For aren't you bandits? You take what you wish through force.
I do not.
Banditry is the human way.
an interesting view on things. Tell me, do you know exactly who I am? Child of the Wood?
No, my lord. Nor do we really care.
Based.
Very well. I'll get to the point then. We are here searching for a group that has been taking from our people with force. We were told that you folk might be able to lead us to them.
And why would we want to go and do a thing like that?
Well, and he looks at the deer. Perhaps you might not have to hunt for your next meal.
Laziness makes men weak.
Hold on, I'm thinking of how he's going to respond.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Cringe and making deals pilled. Let's kill these bitches.
Goodwill begets goodwill. Can I attempt to charm them?
What does your Blood of the Wildlings do?
Blood of the Wildlings. I believe people of high enough status can't automatically compel me.
He can't automatically be forced into an intrigue by
No.
people of higher status, and he also
No, they can't. They can't compel me without an intrigue.
So yeah, if you're just doing a charm, you can. What are you saying with it?
Well, oh, hold on. Sorry, gotta get
No,
back
you're
up.
fine.
must engage him in an intrigue. That's right.
Hmm.
And he can add his athletics rank to his passive endurance result in extreme cold.
Okay. Yeah, I was more so interested in how the whole intrigue thing worked. Because given that they are wildlings, it would be convenient that they had the blood of the wildlings, yeah?
Would be. But most people also can't, like, smell that on you, I don't think.
Right. I was just leading with they, in fact, are wildlings, so it would be, like,
Yeah.
pretty evident in this case. But yeah, no, like, that's what I was concerned about.
I mean, maybe
What's
their
up?
maybe their leader.
I return.
Okay.
No, average people don't have benefits.
So basically, tell me what you know, and we might be able to give you a hand.
Okay.
I know how hard it is to live out in the wild here, and you don't seem to be a threatening bunch of people, and I'd rather have you on the lands than the bandits. So, bonus dice, penalty dice.
No, flat.
No. Why?
What did you get?
Comfortable in my room.
Oh,
He's, being
Yep.
hassled by Familia.
Okay. So 14.
14. Okay, I was setting this at a 12 because it is a challenging roll here.
Yep.
Still succeed.
Oh, hold on. I think I can add. Yeah, I can actually roll 6 dice with that. So make that a. I think I dropped 2 ones. Yeah. So no, I dropped a 2 and a 1. So make that a 17.
17.
Because
Okay, so
famous.
okay. So the famous lets you turn bonus dice into. Oh, right.
Into test
yes.
dice. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just. I see how you're doing it. Okay.
Okay, so that nets you the degree of success. So
About 10 minutes.
in what way do you feel as you could help, or that you feel, or in what way do you feel as though you can help us? Those that you call bandits are already helping us.
Are they now?
They keep us safe from people like you, or from Southerners like you.
And you think me a threat? My people a threat?
You Southerners
prey
attack what you don't understand. You seem smarter and wiser than most of them.
Where I come from, we do not prey upon those who do not make themselves threatening.
Not all of your folks see that way.
The folk whose lands you now call home do.
The land isn't that for which people to take. It's a place for people to live.
Nonetheless, that is the way of the world, and you cannot change it.
No, that is the way of your people.
Correct. In a kinder world, my people would not rule the world. But unfortunately for us both, they do.
How do you wish to help us, my lord?
Food, shelter, perhaps lands to farm, game to hunt.
The way we see it, lands we have, shelter we have, game is abundant.
Is it really?
Yeah, so we have this deer, there are berries and fruits. There's water, and like you can kind of like see them like looking about and just there's
Pointing
things
out. Right.
Yeah.
Very well. If I cannot be of assistance, then perhaps I can take care of some of your wants.
If a conversation is what you seek, we can take you there. We just would hate to see the nice protectors leave us forcibly.
I intend to solve the current dispute without bloodshed, if I can help it. The protectors are capable men, and I would much rather see them in our employ and continue to do what they do without preying upon the rest of the people who call this place home. Then I would see them dead.
We can take you there. Though first
I
we're going
bring
to
my-
finish.
May
Do
I
what?
bring my party along?
Mm-hmm. How many of you are there?
How many of us are there?
How many is in a unit of archers?
We have.
I want to say a
Is it
unit is like 40 people.
Is it regimental sized?
Yes.
Say again.
I think it's a yes.
I want to say it's like 40 people. I will double check that. Don't quote me on it, but
We'll just go
I
with,
know you have.
We'll just go.
I'm
with,
sorry?
We'll just go with 40 for now.
That's fine.
I'm going to lie and say it's myself, my brothers, and one of our attendants.
Okay. Yeah, she's cool with that many.
All right then.
Or
I
rather
will go
they,
fetch
like,
them,
you're
and I
kinda-
will return here. Presumably, you will be finished harvesting your catch once I return.
A unit consists of 100 men.
Okay, so it is 100 archers.
Yeah,
Thank
that's what I thought. Where'd you find that knob? Just page-wise.
Units. I'll just copy paste it.
Just what page is it on?
109.
Thank you.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I know most things are in groups of 4 when it comes to units, but
Infantry 100 men, cavalry 20 men and horses, 5 warships.
5
per
warships.
squad.
Okay. So yeah, it'd be 100 dudes.
Okay. 100 archers.
Unless you chose to bring a smaller amount. Like, you don't have to bring all of them. You can split them, but...
Either way, he's gonna come back to the rest of them. Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
A hunting party at the top of the hill. Say they know where the bandits are and are willing to bring us there for a conversation.
I feel.
Us being, and he gestures to all of the player characters present.
I felt there was going to be a but. I suppose for conversation, that's the least.
If we can
Uncles?
solve this without bloodshed, perhaps that is all we will need. If not, we will leave and, now that we know their location, return with our men.
Right. Uncles?
Yes, young lord.
Would you be so kind as to keep yourselves and the host close enough to respond quickly if things go poorly?
I might have a way of actually allowing us to signal if things go poorly. Trip, would I have one? Yeah, sorry.
Just incurred. I would assume it will be rather obvious because you'll start hearing bear roars and people shouting.
That's fair, but if things don't go Trip, would I have one of my fireworks on me?
If you chose to bring it along.
Yes, I brought a firework or two. But things, we are at a great distance. You'll know the signal when it is, and he pats one of the fireworks.
Well, if they're far enough away that they need one of your little... What is that, actually?
I
A
call
waste
it
of time.
I call it a firework.
I call this one a bottle rocket.
Call it... Let's not burn the forest down. Let's not burn the forest down.
No, please, it only happens if you don't use it properly. Which is why I'm not giving it to either you two.
I would not use it if you gave it to me.
Right.
Come, we have actual productive things to do.
Yes, the uncles will
This is
keep the archers entertained, as it were.
Very well.
this is a terrible idea, but fine.
I think between
I
us,
expect this to go horribly wrong, and then all hell to break loose. But maybe not. Maybe we can recruit them and bolster our forces instead.
The 18.
Woden just leads into the uncles. Actually, no, never mind. We already got the thing done. Never mind. Off we go!
Huzzah!
If they're actually deserters, we shouldn't recruit them.
That's a good point. That's a
Actually,
good point.
in the actual fluff, deserters of the Night Watch are meant to be killed on sight.
Well, I have
yes.
no idea of that in character.
No, we
so.
don't. We don't.
Well, we know we probably know the kill on sight part.
No, as in we have no idea that they're Night Watch deserters.
That's it.
Right.
That's what we don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, out of
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, if we figure out
If that becomes apparent, then okay, plans have changed.
yes.
Correctamundo.
I guess I'll leave my cohort behind.
You're a cadre.
Yeah.
His goons.
Okay.
The boys, as it were.
Yeah.
So, they do, in fact, lead a lot of you to further up the way. More of those patches of mud become apparent, but smaller. In a few places, you do see more bloodstained snow. And the closer you guys get to it, you can smell you can catch the scent of meat being cooked. That kind of jazz. Closer still, there's footprints become more apparent again, in specific direction.
Mhm.
Following the trail brings you to basically another site of hunters, though these look different than the wildlings you previously saw. Two of them are armed with bow and arrow. One of them is armed with a battle axe. And the archers are carrying a deer as well. One of the archers is currently wearing a black feathered cloak. The gentleman with the battle axe, you do notice, is wearing black pants. And the other archer is wearing black, leather armor. They all appear to be wearing various forms of either hide or leathers. Carrying a deer on a kind of like a spit back towards the direction that you're heading. They do take notice, and the wildlings are just saying these fine gentlemen are here to speak with Lord Knott.
Lord Nom? What?
No, not.
Not.
Knot.
Oh, not. Okay, Lord Not.
I wasn't aware we had another lord on these lands.
Greetings. They're like,
Fucking thank you, Zaku.
yes. They're like, he just hears that. He's like, greetings. May I ask, may I inquire?
Brother,
I'm not tripping over my words here.
I would ask very politely that you do not speak unless spoken to.
Okay, seriously, Van, shut up. Stop being a bitter asshole.
This is not me being bitter. This is me trying to maintain some form of plausible deniability, shall we say. It would be best to not let them know exactly who we are.
And while this is
If you
happening,
catch my drift.
and while this conversation is happening, Edric is just riding right on ahead, staying just
Do you seriously think
keeping up
I'm
with the
going to do that?
wildlings.
He just pulls his arm away.
it might not be deliberate. But your face is a recognizable one,
Ugh.
as is mine.
Edric just stays back.
Is there mud on the ground?
Yes.
Alright, I kneel down. I grab a little
I cover
scoop
my
of mud,
face. I cover my face.
and I slap it in Woden's face
Woden
to make him
blocks.
less recognizable.
Woden, I was prepared for that. Woden is not going to allow that.
This sounds like something you guys need to roll off
All
about.
four.
All right. I think this will be a brawl check.
Well, are you just slinging it in his face, or
I'm slapping it in his face.
Woden is
So
going
you've
to
got,
move.
like-
Woden's moving away from you.
So he's got like a handful of mud and he's like going to slap
It's funny how you instantly know exactly what I'm going to do, Saku. Some would call that metagaming, but I don't know.
Oh, it's fine.
yeah?
How is that metagaming by the fact that I see you pick up mud and I already know that I'm getting load of shit already?
Man, your character sure is paranoid.
My character's smart. And cunning and paranoid. He has a high logic skill.
He's also very immature. That is to be expected.
So Van, thinking that's actually not a bad idea, is going to put his hood up and put some hunter's camouflage lines of mud on his face.
So, in a hurry towards them, or
No. Like while my brothers and Sir William pause there to
shenanigan?
shenanigan, I just kept going. Not
Okay.
literally, not literally like pat my bear on the side and charged. We're not being quite that cavalier about it, but still pressing forward.
Okay. But Woden did try to reach out to talk. Yes.
I said greetings.
Like you're met with a stiff nod.
I gotta pee right quick.
I think we should. Woden does not have famous, right?
I do.
Not Woden. I can.
Edric.
Edric does not have famous, right?
Hmm?
So then, I think he should lead the negotiation at the moment.
I did say that. I said, go ahead, Edric.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
We're
I
busy
think-
putting mud on our faces.
Well, Woden's putting on his helmet.
Okay.
He's too good for mud in his face.
He's too pretty for that.
Edric, as you are making your way, you two are greeted with the stiff nod from the three gentlemen.
From the
Um,
three gentlemen in black.
yes.
Is that
And it's-
particularly unusual?
So, not particularly. In that it's only select pieces of them. It's not like they're in full black.
Okay.
Like you would have caught glimpse walking up. One of them would have been in like black leathers. The other one has like a black cloak.
Yeah, you
Like
you,
it's.
you went,
it's
you
all-
went over,
I'm sorry.
you went over that. I remember the description on there, but they're not dressed in suspicious amounts of black, is what I'm getting at.
So
I find suspicious.
Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a bunch of members of the Night's Watch that are.
Yes,
Down.
there does.
Can I
He
Let's-
literally has a feathered black cloak.
I don't.
let's do it like this. Do you have cunning memory?
I can roll cunning.
I do not have cunning memory, no. I have 3 cunning, but I have no dice of memory.
Okay.
May I roll cunning because I have a 6?
Yeah, you all can if you want.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
The only reason why I ask is if you have the memory, you would get the bonus dice for it. Otherwise, it's just a straight cunning.
I got a 16.
I got a 7.
Oof.
I got a 12.
I also got a 12.
Okay. So I would say, Sir William, you would know that they dress in black. Absolutely. As far as the degree, not so much. Like, this isn't, like, triggering anything, like, alarming yet. For the others, it does appear to be Night's Watch clothing, but split among the 3 of them.
Interesting.
Oh. I give a glance at Van, just like nod.
He just raises an eyebrow at acknowledgement and doesn't say anything else.
What's the number I need to beat here to find that out? Because I might spend a destiny point.
This would be. Give me just one moment. Actually, you would have got it. My bad. I thought routine was 9. That's my mistake.
Okay.
So yeah, you would know, or you would notice that altogether it would be like a set of Night's Watch spread amongst them. But if somebody were wearing all of it together, that would totally be Night's Watch clothing.
All right. So my hand slips down to my hilt, and it stays there.
Okay. Like ready to pull, or just kind of resting it there?
Ready to pull.
Okay.
I can't exactly not have my hand on my weapon because I'm on my bear and have my war lance, so you know.
But you're not outright dropping it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up behind him and be ready.
I keep myself behind the bear to keep myself a little bit hidden.
I believe it is customary to bow in the presence of your betters.
And you just blew it immediately.
He's riding on a bear with a massive lance, and he has a knight right next to him. I didn't say what lords we were, but it's obvious we're not peasants.
At that address, they will. The one with the axe will turn and bow, and just, my lords. And the 2 with the deer on their shoulder won't, but they will like
dip their heads. They're
Yeah.
not gonna like bow over and fall because they have a deer on
Their shoulders. Yeah.
Right.
But just like at. I'm actually gonna binary response. Here we go. Okay. At that, Edric is actually gonna like motion with his shield hand for them to just like stand up. Now, no need to stand on ceremony. Oni's out here. That can be we can resolve well later, under more appropriate circumstances.
And they're more like that was our intentions.
Thumbs up. music pause again? No, I paused my music is what happened.
Well, then, without further ado,
Can I make a notice to see if anything's hiding around here?
Sure.
Oh, I got a 13.
You do find a couple more archers kind of like sitting down behind a stump that appear to be like scouts.
Hmm.
But seeing you walk with the wildlings, they're not acting any real sort of way. They're just kind of peering over, making sure all is well.
so out of character, how are we playing this exactly?
Find out who they are, why they're here, find out if they are members of the Black Watch, and
Night's Watch.
Night's Watch. Sorry, Night's
The
Watch.
goddamn Black Watch.
And just like that, a Highlander steps out from behind a tree and deletes us all with a Gauss rifle.
Good.
I mean, we do have the ancestral Omnimech, and it's 20 tons of awesome. I forget what the mech is called, but
I thought you
remember
were
it.
talking about the urban mech.
No,
So
there's
anyway,
a
the AC-20 was.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what that thing was.
it's an
I don't remember
Omnimech.
what
I know
it's
that
called.
it's an IS Omnimech, but I
It's
forget what kind it is.
Duan Gong.
So
Yeah.
it's
Back on track.
Back on track.
It's a terrible
Back
Capellan
on
piece of shit.
track.
Yes, but
Back on
back on
track.
track.
No.
Yes. Anyway, so general gist of what we're trying to do is figure out why they're here, and either trying to recruit them, or at the very least, if they're members of the Black Night's Watch. Night's Watch. Well, if they find out if they are deserters or members, deserters or they're just like hunters or something, and they're just being extra dickish about their duties.
Basically, figure out what the socially acceptable means of resolving the situation is, and then enacting that.
With them being Night's Watch, or with the Night's Watch, common knowledge would tell you that there are situations and times where they are allowed to leave their post and travel south. But the specifics on that are a little fuzzy to most of you.
Could I roll an education test or research?
Would you say that you have studied the Night's Watch?
I've pretty much poked my book in my head into any book I can find.
Okay, let's go education.
Should I take a negative to this then? -1 dice?
If you're telling me that you've poked your head into every book, then no.
Okay. Alright, rolling education. I got a 12.
Cool. So you, just like Trap and Zai, from
Yep.
spending the time doing courtly things in King's Landing, would know that the Lord Commander and a small entourage are allowed to leave their post to come looking for more recruits or to come pick up criminals that were forced into the Watch. As far as hunting down here, while they do hunt, it is not this far away. Like, you're talking hunting about like a week and a half away from their post.
Right.
They have a specific area set off for that. It's
Yes.
called the Gift, and it's like something like 50 kilometers south of the wall. Something like
Yeah.
that.
You guys are way far south for that.
Checks out.
So we either have a Lord Commander here, or
Or they're a bunch
Or they're deserters.
there are people who've killed some Night Watch and taken their clothes.
Or they're deserters, and they've tried to get rid of all their clothes, but haven't managed to find all of the set pieces yet.
Yes.
We're about to find out. All right. So I think Edric is still taking the lead. Yeah, unless you'd rather Van do the talking.
I have the best intrigue here, I think.
If it resorts to that.
I believe I do, actually.
I have a defense of 13. How high is your defense?
We gotta find it. How does it calculate it again?
Intrigue and combat, it auto-calculates.
Yeah, I have a defense 12.
Okay, so we're comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if it comes down to that.
Yes. I suspect it's either gonna not come down. I suspect it's gonna probably not come down to that, and it's gonna not come down to that very quickly.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll.
Because I did the talky talk before, so we'll let you handle it.
I'll keep at the front since I am on bear.
Okay.
I am big obvious target.
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Well, you have a 2-meter dude in plate armor standing next to you, so...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, between the both of you, the squishy ones are not likely to get hit.
We shall see. But about how long does it take us to get to their camp?
Not long. From here,
Not
it's
long?
maybe like 10 minutes. Walking up the trail. And it's, like I was saying, like it's patches of snow, but mostly mud.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up to a makeshift palisade. Inside, you see tents.
Mm-hmm.
Some very Westerosi-looking tents. And more like fur huts, kind of intermingled. There are more fur huts than there are like tents. There is a larger tent than the rest. Not really much more decorative than the rest. You can tell that like it at one time was more decorated, but a lot of it's faded to time. Inside, you see more people dressed like the three that were addressed for the bow.
Yeah, in this kind of scattered Night's Watch apparel.
Not a whole lot of it, but yes, you do see more Night's Watch apparel scattered about. There are some of these quote unquote bandit looking dudes that are also not wearing any Night's Watch regalia.
But they're also not really dressed like the wildlings. They're more in like gambesons and leather and such like that.
They would be dressed somewhat similar, but like it's kind of a mix between Westerosi clothing and wildling clothing.
Okay.
Where it's more, where the wildlings are more practicality over functionality. For a few of these other bandit-looking dudes, it's a mix of both practicality and functionality, or like
appearance and functionality. I got you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you get the mix of both, and you do see there are quite a few wildlings scattered in there as well. The wildlings doing very like none of them really chilling. Like they're mostly all working on something, whether it be weaving stuff or sewing like leathers to make things. Like there is busyness to it. Then you have like the bandit looking dudes that are more just kind of chilling, eating like what you would expect to see at a garrison, where they may not be on shift, but they're hanging out, maybe playing some like dice games or card games or something.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a very defined split between stuff, but seeing interactions, they're getting along peacefully. It's not like there's a social divide amongst them. Like, no, you can't talk to us. Like, no, you can't talk to us either. There isn't that. Like, they're intermingling freely.
Interesting.
Seems legit.
All right. And is there an obvious leader figure out and about?
There is, though. Forgive me, I don't remember specifically what armor he is wearing.
It's been kind of buried in art dump. Sorry. Were you going to go with the one that we said we liked?
What?
The guy with the golden black armor.
No, this is
That's not him.
almost certainly not this. That's almost certainly not that guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I could actually. No, I fucking can't do that either. God damn it. I love when my art's on my computer. When I have
I think I've got something for you that I can just grab right quick. Give me a
actually,
second.
my phone is connected. I wonder if I can. So the picture for the art of this man that I'm wearing, or that I'm using, like I said, forgive me, I can't remember what armor it is exactly, but he is wearing a bearskin over his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Like full bear.
Like this man killed a bear. Okay.
Yes. The head is the hood, the whole shebang.
Okay.
Is he bare chested?
No.
Okay, so it's not the art I'm thinking of. Okay.
Is he bare chested?
Also no.
Okay.
Gahyook?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Are we back?
Wait. Fuck yes, hold on, bitches, we're back.
Yay.
Hey.
Amazing.
It only took most of the session, but we're back in business, boys.
Nice.
The boys are back in town.
The goys are back in town. The goys are back in town.
Don't insult Thin Lizzy like that.
Wah, 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 wah.